nations and the NGOs. 14 of the partners have stockpiles in Subang, what we call the warehouse. And you see in red, these are the partners that has got stockpiles within in Subang, which is at Subang warehouse. The benefits of this network throughout is timeliness. We are 24/7, fast response within 24 to 48 hours after an official request. Loans and borrowings of items is most interesting. Each partner we can always who is that? That is the echo. Okay, loans and borrowing. Each partner, they can always borrow and they can always loan from another partner very easily. And real-time stock visibility we have throughout the network. Cost efficiency, storage at no cost to users. Integrated procurement with long-term agreement with suppliers. Gentlemen, this is very important as we finish the stock. That agreement, long agreement, they are supposed to replenish and at a good timing as well. Coordinated response, standardized items. These items from one partner to another partner, we want to make it as standardized as possible so that we do not send away these items into disaster areas of different standards. Staging areas, we have all the staging areas set up, and in the process of setting up more staging areas, like Subang is the main area, and we have starting to build up to staging area also in Philippines. That will be in Subic Bay. We have also satellite warehouses to be built up in Bangkok and Jakarta, and soon working out for Myanmar. Training facilities, we have the training facilities in real operational environment, as you can see after this. Standard operate in Subang. We are all established presently in Subang, but in 2010, and Subang is hosted by the government of Malaysia. The new facility built by the government of Malaysia has been operational since 2012. 4 years has run through the present premises that we have. We are with 4,000 square meters for dry goods area, which is approximately 2,300 pallet positions. And as you can see, it doesn't work, battery maybe. And as you can see, 1,000 square meters, we have the, on the right bottom is the climate control rooms. It's supposed to be air conditioned. It's supposed to be an area that is for food items as well. And this place is also a good access to KRIA, Subang Airport, which is next door to us, which is the other side of the runway, and Port Town, which is about only 45 to 1 hour drive to Port Town. This is a training facility, more than what you can see on the view graph. But you can see the training facility of the big room, the operational room, and we have a few other syndicate rooms as well for training. Ladies and gentlemen, UNHCR Subang has dispatched and has dispatched quite a lot of items since 2010. And we can see the graph, graph of 2010, which is very low, and 2011, it was just an increase. 2012 slightly down, 2013, it has gone up quite high because of the tsunami earthquake of Japan. Subang deployed operational support relief items to the following countries from 2010 to 2014. We went through quite a distance, which is more of ASEAN and beyond, because this was Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Cambodia, Korea, Indonesia, Japan, Laos, Myanmar, Pakistan, Philippines, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Palau, and the Solomon Islands. And even to the Middle East countries, we have Ethiopia, Comoros, Ethiopia, Mozambique. Number of shipments so far outbound in 2013, 27 shipments, which is 409 metric tons by air, 13 shipments of by sea, which covers 237 metric tons. Most demanded items out for relief is the mobile storage units, fabricated accommodation units, generator, family tents, shelter kits, blankets, tarpaulins, and the jerry cans. The open shipment summary for Asia Pacific, we covers Malaysia, Vanuatu, and that is the cyclone in Vanuatu, and Nepal earthquake, Myanmar floods, Korea, and Indonesia. Number of outbound shipments 2015 that you can see 230 metric tons per air and 288 metric tons by land and sea. Approximate total value of relief goods dispatched is USD $3.4 million. Inbound shipments by sea, that is the amount, and most demanded stock items again, we have the mobile storage units, fabricated accommodation office units, generator sets, tents, shelters, repair kits, jerry cans, and family kits. Activities of Subang UNHRD during the Typhoon Haiyan. This is the leftovers, I should say, of the Typhoon Haiyan in Philippines. You can see the amount of disasters, the amount of debris that is left after the typhoon. And the coordinated response by the UNHRD network, and this is the flow of traffic that has flowed from Italy, which is 164 metric tons, UAE, Dubai, 995, and from Malaysia, 326 metric tons, all gone to Philippines. And airlift to Tacloban, Philippines in 2013. That's how we work out to cover loading at HRD at 1,500 hours and palletizing them in at the IMF or the Air Force Base Subang. And we have also the generators all packed up nicely into the C-130s, and that is a C-130 used by UNHRD to transport all the items to Tacloban. And we not only use the military aircraft, we also make use of civil commercial aircraft. That is a transmile aircraft, and that is loaded also onto transmile and transported to for Typhoon Haiyan response. And as mentioned about the MSU, this is a kind of MSU laid out anywhere during during disaster. These are the few MSUs built up, and this is the most and common item sent for disaster relief. And to tell you about this MSU, it is so good that even the Japanese during their disaster, that they make use of these MSUs even as supermarkets. And also the fabricated, also they make use for dental and hospitals. These are charter flights that we hire, and this is right from Antonov. And same thing again, Russian Antonov again we use of to send all our relief items to disasters. These are the tarpaulins. Tarpaulin is plastic sheets for ground sheets as well as the top part of the damages of people. This is also the loading that we could do, and we have been doing together, not only with the military, we also do with civil partners like Mercy Malaysia is also one of them. The aircraft that we make use of. And as I said, this is the MSU, mobile storage units. And you can see that two MSUs that is standing in this picture, and two of the other containers that is being built up, and all these with the fence also set up. And we also generate the lightings as well. We will all go into one C-130 with no problems. Activities again on UNHRD. This is the training and emergency support equipment that we build up, and we do practice and we do exercises very often so as to maintain the capabilities and for people to really know how to build up. This is very important because a wrong fixture of building up these MSUs, again, it will not last long at all. So again, this is the MSUs that is being built up. And aircraft use is C-130, and we do training quite a number of times a year, at least 5 times in a year, we do training with the C-130s of the Air Force. And that's all I have to bring, and just to introduce to all of you that do make use of UNHRD, and because Mercy is one agency and one NGO that is very often making use of our facilities, and also the warehouse that they make use of very often to do training and to make ready for disasters. Thank you, everyone. I will give it back to the chairman for question and answers later.
Thank you very much, General DATO, for your information and sharing your what you have done. It is a great job. Thanks, and we'll ask the questions later, all three of them. We have the honor to invite Dr. Shalimar Abdul Asu, consultant hand surgeon and lecturer in the Department of Orthopedic and Traumatology of Pusat, Peru Batan University, Malaysia. She received her fellowship in hand surgery from Institute in Louisville, USA, 2010, followed by a diploma in hand surgery from the European Board in 2011. She has up to 30 publications, national and international. She is involved in research, especially in the tissue engineering and nerve. She is active in humanitarian arena and first joined Mercy Malaysia in '99. She has done many missions. She's also involved in advisory. She has done missions, humanitarian ground in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal, Cambodia, Kashmir, and Indonesia. Thank you very much for coming and sharing your knowledge with us.
Thank you for the kind introduction. And also thank you for the organizers to invite me to come over to give this talk. First, let me get this technical part right first, because there's nothing here on the screen here, so I think I will go down and give my talk from down there. Can everyone hear me here? Okay, cool. All right, so let me start. I'm going to give a brief overview of what Mercy Malaysia did during the Nepal earthquake in 2015. I'll go down straight to the point. Right, so what happened, as you guys may know, is that there was an earthquake on the 25th of April on a 7.8 Richter scale, and the earthquake was just 8.2 kilometers from the surface, so it's a very shallow earthquake, and due to that, 8,000 people died, and whenever you have a figure of how many people have died, you just times 3 for the number of people you would consider to be injured. And about 24,000 people were injured and 3.5 million were affected in this case. Mercy Malaysia is lucky to have had relationships or connection with a local agency, because if any of you intend to do any disaster relief in overseas countries, you should have a local agency who will be in a way your host agency. So we had already made contact with National Society for Earthquake Technology in Nepal. We actually wanted to do some rehabilitation and programs prior to the earthquake. So we had made some contact with them, and this was good, because when you want to enter the country, when they ask you who is your host agency, you already have one host agency whom you can name. Okay, and when the earthquake happens, you need to register yourself with United Nations. So in this case, we registered with the UN OCHA, we filled an online form, and we filled up as foreign medical team type 2. Type 2 means surgical capabilities. Type 1 means without surgical capabilities. Type 3 means with intensive care unit. And we then were allowed to deploy to Nepal as a foreign medical team. Okay, so thank you very much to everybody who helped Mercy Malaysia, WFP, because WFP, they actually stored our field hospital items there, TUDM, because they were flying in, and as an NGO for Mercy Malaysia, which is not such a big NGO, logistics is the most problematic area for us. How to bring our items from Malaysia to whichever country is having the disaster. So in this case, we were lucky because TUDM was sending a Hercules in, and our government of Malaysia was also sending a smart team and some fire and rescue personnel as well. So we kind of hitched a ride with them. and also because they were going to bring any stranded Malaysians home. Alright, so then the next step was actually the packing of the items. So there's the packing, those were our tents, and this was the packing of the medication. Um, this was the first team which goes out. So the first team is always a small team. We only have 7 members in that team, which was 1 nurse, senior staff nurse, 1 orthopedic surgeon, 1 anesthetist, a logistics or medical equipment consultant, another logistics, staff of Mercy Malaysia, and a general practitioner. So you see here, out of 7 people, only 1 person is a staff of Mercy Malaysia. That means they are paid by Mercy Malaysia. The rest are all volunteers, including me. I'm a volunteer with Mercy Malaysia. I work in PPUKM, okay? Alright, so before you go, you must always make sure you are vaccinated against all the possible diseases. And this was done at the airport. And this was the first team out, 7 members only. And then this was, as usual, most of the deployment happens at night. And this was the things which were loaded. And as you can see, the smart team also was with us. And a lot of waiting. There's the C-130, everybody knows what it looks like. And this is the smart team with us. And also the people in orange were the fire department, fire and rescue department. And, okay, sorry, it's a bit dark. Okay, and to go into Nepal was actually not so easy because the airport is not an easy airport to land, and we had to wait and refuel as well, and also wait for clearance because every time there's a disaster, everybody in the world wants to help, and when you have an airport which has to suddenly cater to 20 or 100 flights coming in, it cannot cater. So it's a lot of waiting. In fact, the team thought of driving to ask the plane to go to Calcutta and drive all the way from Calcutta into Nepal, which was going to be a 20-hour drive. But in the end, they decided to fly in. There's PBSM with us as well. Okay, so the new phase of humanitarian work on arrival in a country like this is just chaos, and everybody wants to help. Okay, don't think that you are the only NGO or society or institute or organization who wants to help. There's 100 other people who also want to help as well. And this adds to the clutter at the airport. Because everybody has to arrive at the airport. So this is it. And the people in Nepal themselves, they are not used to having so many foreign teams coming in. So there's all these clearance problems and immigration and this and that and all that. We actually had to go out of the airport to the plane to get our own items because there was not enough luggage personnel to carry all the items to the conveyor belt. Okay, so when you arrive, register again with UN OCHA, which is for those who don't know, the Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. Very important because here we are talking about international standards. And then we were allocated a site. We didn't choose this place. UN OCHA chose the place for us and said, okay, Mercy Malaysia, you go and set up your field hospital at Saku. This place here, Saku. Okay, so on we go to Saku, and this was what we saw when we arrived. A lot of devastation, as you would expect. Okay. Okay, so this is the first team. Remember, only 7 people to set up a field hospital, which is a lot of work. So what we did is we had the villagers to help us for the first day. So the first day, they're all very interested to help. After that, they're not interested anymore because they're not getting paid anyway. So we now have to wait for our second team to arrive. Okay, so this was the second team out. This was a briefing by Encik Shah. I think he gave a talk on volunteerism earlier today at 12 o'clock. So that he's there briefing the 11 volunteers for the second team. So that's the second team. So second team goes on a commercial flight, Malindo Air. But they were also able to bring some items The bigger items had gone with the TUADM, so this time round, some of the items on Malindo Air. That's them loading our OT table. And then by this time, we can now have our complete field hospital set up. So you can see, it can't be done in just 1 or 2 days. It takes about 3-4 days to set up the whole thing. Of course, you can already start seeing patients on the first day, but we didn't have our surgical capability available until the 3rd day. So that's the field hospital. This is our President of Mercy Malaysia, Dr. Faida, on the right, Dr. Faida. And what happened also is a lot of Malaysians were there in Kathmandu who wanted to go hiking to Mount Everest, but they can't go hiking because the hikers were all, hiking was not allowed anymore because of collapse and all that. So some Malaysian hikers came to offer their help, and somebody had a drone and took this nice picture of the field hospital, which is set up in the field of this local school. So this was the field hospital, seeing with patients in OPD. This was our volunteer preparing the OPD in the morning, and Dr. Jit seeing some patients, again seeing patients as well, and updating the pharmacy stock list. So this is he's actually a medical student who happened to be in Kathmandu, and he then came to offer his help to us. Dr. Lai Fui Bun, pediatric surgeon, acting as the pharmacist. So remember, when you volunteer, you don't always get to do what you're supposed to do. You need to multitask. Okay, doesn't mean if you're a surgeon, you always do surgery. You might have to be a pharmacist, you might have to be an ER physician, you might have to be a porter, or you might be a driver as well. Whatever you can do. This was the emergency room, very basic. The ward, nobody actually stayed in the ward, everybody was happier to go home. This was our storeroom, more storeroom. Operating theatre, this was perhaps the only reason which allowed us to actually go into Nepal, because we had the OT. So the staff nurse with the anesthetist, our aircon, because very, very hot over there. And there you go. We were doing, we had to sterilize using Sidex, cold sterilization. This was a patient who had a laceration wound on the forehead, and we did it under sedation. She was 75 years old, 80, so anesthetists were a bit jittery, but anyways, just sedation. And that was the laceration, not such a big one, didn't go, but then it was very dirty when she first came in. So we actually did the debridement 3 times for her. This was the water supply we had. Because there was actually water tanks coming, so we didn't actually have piped water. We had water which was, every morning we would go to the collecting area and put it in the buckets. This was the CSSD in the middle there, which was basically just a toilet tank, which we then put Sidex in there, and we had a date for that. This was just to show some of the issues you can have. A lot of there was water collecting everywhere, and there was the possibility of electrocution and fire, but just to show you possible complications which can occur. We also have a psychosocial unit. So this was the, we worked together with the National Mental Health Network to have psychosocial activities. This was the tent at the site. This was some of our psychologists playing with the children. This was the current standing toilet of the school, this was the toilet which we used, so we didn't actually have to build our own toilets. This was lunch at the field hospital, which was prepared by the local cook. Dal bhat, which was rice with dal. Every day is dal bhat, dal bhat, dal bhat. I got quite sick of it. And then there's the kitchen. Okay, this was the base camp that we used. Initially, we stayed at the school itself. Then we moved on to a homestay. This is quite comfortable. Nice homestay. And this is, we had a pharmacist on the right, Alif, and Hafiz is our logistics, and the 2 people at the back were our psychologists. And so nice homestay, which we added our camp beds in there. So one room had about 8 people in there, but it's nice. Right? Okay, just to show that there were also other private hospitals in the area. This was one private hospital. And this is a Interplus, which was a very Changi or advanced hospital by Germans in that area. So because of that, in the first week, yes, we had a lot of patients, but after that, the numbers start dwindling very fast. And if you think of a country like Nepal, which is very hilly, the people in that area, Saku, yes, they can come, they can walk, no problem. But the people from the other villages away, it's very difficult for them to come. So they don't want to come because sometimes the roads are damaged. So the first week, many patients. After that, you notice patients start going down. Number starts going down. So what we have to do this time is we actually have to go out to see those patients ourselves. So we then arranged, we did mobile clinics to various villages. Remember the Malaysian hikers? So they help us to go to those villages to see those patients outside. So they carried the medical supplies and all that. So this was one of the mobile clinic that we had, and another mobile clinic. So any patients whom we thought needed surgery or anything, we would bring them back to our field hospital. Another thing I want to emphasize here is that if you want to do missions in overseas country internationally, please make sure that you attend the meetings with WHO. Okay, so by the way, FMT is now known as EMT or Emergency Medical Team. They don't want to use the word foreign anymore. So you need to attend the health cluster meeting if you are doing health services, of course. And this was the big meeting that was held every 2 days with various agencies around the world. You can see Japan there, Switzerland, so many agencies. And for example here, I want to show that a total of 67 foreign medical teams were deployed in during this disaster in just this area. So you can just imagine how many teams there are. If we have another disaster, a big one coming next year or whatever, I'm sure there's like 200 medical teams. So you need to have a different skill than anyone else, because why should they take your team and not another team in from Japan or Singapore or something like that? So you need to have a unique skill or capability. And also very important to attend a health cluster so you know what's going on around your area. This was the reported number of deaths and injuries in the areas that we were dealing with. And interesting for me is the top 20 medication that is used in this within a month of the disaster. The most common one is PCM, paracetamol, followed by ORS, and then antibiotics, amoxicillin, and then amoxicillin, sorry, and painkiller, which is diclofenac, and then vitamin B. Those were the top 5 medications which were prescribed in the first 1 month of the disaster. This was villages which were not, where people were not able to reach. Okay, and this was also during the meetings, you also meet many other NGOs. So we met a Japanese-based NGO because we worked with them during the Japan Great Tsunami. Some recreational moments, and this was just a nice scenery that you see. Dr. Liana, one of the ER physicians, she's here. One of our Hindu volunteers, Guna, joins a prayer session. Ritual shaving for family members who has another family member who has died. What is this? Anybody recognizes these plants? Yeah. So very nice, lots and lots of poppy fields everywhere in this area. And then also what was going on with the common people is that they would have houses, but everybody was afraid to stay in the house at night. So you have a house here, but you would stay in the orange tent at night. Everybody would sleep at night, but daily eating, drinking, they would use the house during the day. So I went into one of the tents of the radiology technician whom I knew from the Interplus hospital. So he invited me over to his family house. And of course, you as the field hospital, you can only stay there as long as the government allows. Once the government feels that they don't need you anymore, you have to go home. So packing up is another big thing. A lot of manpower, and also first time going, we hitch a ride with TUDM. Coming back, we have to pay ourselves, of course. So I think we went on Air Asia to come back. Okay. So our field hospital stood there for 4 weeks. We saw 4,000 patients, but we only did 3 surgeries, which was actually quite interesting because we expected, since we were the hospital with a operating theatre, to be doing more surgeries, but the reason was this earthquake happened at 10 a.m. You know that the different time for the earthquake will give you different type of injuries. So at 10 a.m., most people are outside, and so not many people were injured per se. Whereas if you see earthquake in Pakistan, it happens at 4 a.m., everybody's at home sleeping, things fall on them, you get open fractures here and there. But in this case, no open fractures. It was okay, not too bad in that sense of surgery. This were the other short and medium term programs we had, which has all been completed: hygiene education, rebuilding and equipping local health centers, psychosocial programs, and mobile aesthetic clinics. The only program which is still ongoing is the rehab medicine program, which is our only long-term project going on. We have a bunch of rehab people who are working in the spinal injury rehab center, training personnel every 3 or 4 months. This is our rehab team. I think there's one team which will be going in November to the hospitals to help with training of personnel. So lessons learned here is assisting international communities is becoming more challenging. You need to have a specific skill or niche area, then only the international organization will allow you to go in. You need to make sure you are registered with United Nations, and there is an accreditation now for emergency medical teams. You can't just say, oh, I've got field hospital type 2, I want to go in. You can't, because you need to be accredited now. Logistics is a very important thing. So for those of you who are interested, please go to the WHO website. This is the online if you want your medical team to be able to deploy internationally. And they have all this classification and the processes to start as well. Right, so these are the other, so far these are the teams which have accreditation as a type 1 field hospital, type 2, and type 3 nobody is accredited yet. So yeah, there's a lot of work to be on the same level as the other international agencies around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your presentation, sharing what you have done in Nepal. I would like to invite TUAN HISHAM bin Muhammad, Director of Fire and Rescue Department, Sarawak State, joined the fire brigade in 1997 as fire superintendent, has 19 years of experience in the fire and rescue field. He is graduated from University of Malaya in 1996. And a master degree in business and administration, and he studied also environmental issues. He will speak about Sarawak helicopter crash. Welcome.
Wait for a moment. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam satu Malaysia, and very good evening to everybody. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Dr. Khalid Munipal, for your introduction. My name is HISHAM bin Muhammad. I know some of you, especially Chinese, very difficult to pronounce my name. They always call me Nur Hashim. And when I was in university also, they call me Hashim because so many HISHAM in Malaysia. First of all, I would like also to extend my appreciation to the organizer for inviting me on behalf of our search and rescue team, or SAR, for RPC 6828. As a rescuer, I always be trained to expect unexpected. But today, when I watch your gimmick opening, especially the song and the gimmick just now did by Hospital Melaka, this really become one of unexpected and very touching moment in my career as a rescuer. Thank you very much, and please register congratulations to the organizer, especially to Hospital Melaka. Ladies and gentlemen, I try my best to share with you one of the most tragic helicopter crash in Sarawak history. It happened recently, and as I mentioned before, it's an honor to me to have opportunity to share our team's experience. It's not from Bomba, it's also from police, from civil defense, from military, on the operation of search and rescue RPC 6828. For your information, I'm the senior operation commander for Bomba in this incident. I will try my best to explain to you what was happened and not how does it happen. So please bear with me and try to understand my English. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this next one is my presentation outline. I will present, my presentation will be given into 4 sections. The first section explain on the incident chronology, which mainly the information I gathered from the Department of Civil Aviation data. And the second part, I try to relate to the search and rescue command and control. Next will be lesson learned, which is from my point of view from this incident. And last but not least, some conclusion words. My presentation, of course, will take about half an hour. I try my best. If I can do shorter, I think it's better for you. Okay, let's move on to the first part of my presentation, incident chronology. Okay, I believe 99.9% of us in this hall is a Malaysian, so majority of you are very familiar with this crash incident. This happened amid election campaigning ahead of Sarawak 11 state election. So that time Sarawak became national highlight for the whole week. Everyone keen to know the results of the search and operation, and the same time also want to know the results of election itself. Either Pembangkang gain more kerusi or Barisan Nasional gain more kerusi. So you know the result, so please think properly for the next general election. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment to look a few other details on the aircraft. This one was provided by DCA, our Department of Civil Aviation. May I focus your attention to the tables? So the aircraft type is Eurocopter model AS350, and the call sign dedicated for this aircraft is RPC 6828. Very nice number. Don't try to use the number for your Magnum 4D. So as a Muslim, you are prohibited to do that. But for non-Muslim also, I advise not to try. Okay. During the event, RPC 6828 has chartered by Hornbill Skyways and took off from Betong at 1612 local time to Kuching Airport on a direct track at 1500 feet, with 6 persons on board and fuel endurance for 1 hour 32 minutes. As you know, helicopter is highly used in Sarawak election due to many factors, including difficulties in logistics, especially accessibility to the remote and riverine areas, topography, widespread and less population density, and the state size itself. So Sarawak, for Dr. Khalid information, is the biggest state in Malaysia. You discounted Negeri Sembilan, so our size is equal to Semenanjung Malaysia or Peninsula of Malaysia. The investigation also reveals a few findings of the incidents. Okay, most of the information you can find in the preliminary report published by Department of Civil Aviation or DCA. It is reported again at 1615 local time. The pilot advised Kuching flight information that he estimate arrival time to Simunjan in 20 minutes. Prior to Simunjan, at time 1628 local time, Air Traffic Controller Kuching tried to establish contact with the RPC but no response. Several attempts were to contact the aircraft at 1629, 1639 and 1656 local time but also failed. No distress call was recorded. Okay, this is the direct track of the RPC 6828, sorry, misspelling. But the line is not straight. I do not know, but it was released by DCA, but I believe that the first arrow is shown, the estimate 20 minutes helicopter RPC can go. It is also reported during that time, Simunjan experiencing bad weather. Okay. According to the preliminary report, investigation revealed also 4 other helicopters also depart Betong area around that time. The first helicopter, 9M LLE, diverted and landed to the Bab due to the poor weather. 9M WSM depart 1 minute later and managed to track via Simunjan to land at Kuching International Airport. RPC is the third one. The last two is 9M AZK and 9M AWB followed 10 minutes behind the RPC and able to track via Simunjan to land at Kuching International Airport. According to the report as well, at 1734, Kuching Air Traffic Control Center watch supervisor was informed by Kuching Flight Information Service that they lost the contact with RPC and continued with the action to check with Cebu, Bintulu and Hornbill Skyways, which is a private air flight charter, confirmed no contact with the aircraft. At 1833, the watch supervisor informed IPD Simunjan or Police District of Simunjan, IPD Sebuyau, IPD Betong, and IPD Sri Aman about the missing aircraft. So they informed 4 IPD, and the size of IPD administration area is bigger than Melaka itself. At 1840, Kota Kinabalu Aeronautical Rescue Coordination Center was informed about the incident. So if you look at the map, it shows suspected area based on first 16 minute flying hours by considering the helicopter had fly via direct track. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the command and control of this incident. DCA or this Department of Civil Aviation has activated Kuching Aeronautical Rescue Subcenter or ARSC. This is according with the National Security Council Directive Number 20. And immediate action from the Air Search and Rescue Team, which consists team from Royal Military Police, from Bomba, from Maritime Agency, Enforcement Agency, and from the Air Force. Available asset during that time is a 6 chopper. At the Bomba level, our center has received a call from a reporter at 1946 to confirm about the incidents. Immediately, our command center has checked and received confirmation from ARSC about the missing chopper. We start to gather information and call in our state disaster management team. This is our internal state disaster management team. News spread very fast when I report duty to our command center that night around 20:00 or 8 o'clock p.m., reporters from local and national news already waiting for me. At 2130, our command center or PGO officially activated SARS Ops Room, which code name OPSA Sebuyau. The media also used this name as well. That's why on the first 2 days of the incident, all the news come up with the headline, helicopter terhempas di Sebuyau, or helicopter crash in Sebuyau become a popular news tagline. 4 decisions were made that night, including Bomba team will focus search and rescue in Batang Lupa. We will open 3 forward command posts located at Sebuyau, Triso, and Lingga. Those locations were selected by considering accessibility via road and the availability of the boat ramp. Our storm or special team members from 4 our administration zones will be deployed immediately. That night, we deployed first 65 rescuers. The order also was given to the 3 nearest bomba station around Batang Lupa to gather information from the locals if they saw and heard anything suspicious about the helicopter. From that, our SAR from Sri Aman was deployed to Batang Lupa at 0216 on 6th of May 2016 after we received info from civilians spotted twinkling light in Batang Lupa near Skype area. But till 0700 next day, the result was negative. Okay, this is our forward operating base, initial operating base. We have a team in Triso. We also have a team in Sebuyau was tasked to search river upstream to Lingga, and the last forward operating base is in Sebuyau, in Lingga, sorry. On that night also, first agency's coordination meeting for ground search and rescue was held at Sarawak Police Headquarters and checked by Commissioner Police of Sarawak at 23 hours or 2300 local time. From the meeting, we agreed 4 district office police will involve in SAR, and orders and instruction has been made that our rescue team was instructed to report to the nearest police station. From the coordination also, agencies agreed and adhere with the orders and immediately preparing and ready to be mobilized to the search area by tomorrow morning as soon as possible. Strategy and tactic will discuss detail by tomorrow morning. That means on the 6th, after receive confirmation from military radar on the last point of chopper was detected on radar. Okay, we don't have radar coverage. Okay, civilian radar coverage on that area, and we end up also military also don't have the radar coverage on that area. Okay, at 0800 tomorrow morning, tomorrow morning of the incident, the second coordination meeting was held and we focused on strategy and tactic. Initial decision was search and rescue will focus at first is non-populated area, and it will cover 3 main districts, Betong, Sri Aman, and Molodam. We adjourned the meeting at 0915 local time when DCA called and informed us that all members must attend special briefing to Prime Minister at DCA office. So this is the initial area we try to cover. 875 square meter or half of the size of the Melaka. On the second day of operation, as agreed and ordered by our command center, bomba forward command post was opened at Sebuyau and Lingga. We start with a team briefing at 0600 local time, and immediately after that, 2 boats was deployed with 11 members on board and upstreaming to Lingga. Later of the day, the agencies assigned is Civil Defence, Ministry of Health or local clinic, and also the Royal Police or the police. Okay. If you look at the slide, 4 operating base Sibuyao become main attraction point. Medias and top leader of agencies was gathered there. So which means is the Director General of Civil Defence and Director General of Maritime Enforcement Agency. So all the top brass was in Sarawak then. A breakthrough. On the 6th of May at 10 a.m., special briefing to PM and local MPs was made at DCA's office. Before the meeting, I have been notified by Sibuyao team about the finding of the debris believed to be part of RPC 6828 at 0948 local time. If you look at the briefing session, while the others listening to the briefing, I'm patiently waiting the first image from the team. Okay, I cannot pinpoint. I'm busy looking at my my handphone, so to confirm that image is from the debris of RPC. Once received, myself personally informed PM, Prime Minister about the finding, and official PC was made about the incident. Helicopter was crashed in Batang Sado. The team's finding become a major breakthrough for the incident. Sibuyao become a popular small town then. Okay, this is the first 4 images I released to the media and become very famous that day. So it was shared by among city netizens, Malaysian and all media. This is our first team from Sibuyao, which we deployed and managed to find the debris. So Alhamdulillah, also during the second day of operation, first victim has been found and was recovered 7.5 km from Lingga and just about 1 km from the debris we found, and upstream to the first debris, the second debris we found, sorry, not the first one. Okay, the second decision we made on the second day is at 1800 or 6 p.m. we agreed among interagencies coordination meeting at IPD Sibuyao, we will relocate our 4th operating base from Sibuyao to Lingga for better coordination. From Sibuyao, if we go by boat or by river, it's about 40 minutes. And if we go by land, it will take around 4 hours. So that's Sarawak. We're talking about hours, we're not talking about kilometer. Okay, let's watch the timeline to summarize my first part of my presentation. Oh, sound. Okay, on the third day of operation, third day of operation is a big success. We found the third body, second body, third body, fourth body, and the fifth body. Okay, just around the Lingga area. So the area which we relocate our fourth operating base from Sebuyau to Lingga. So the last body, the late husband, the late members of Parliament Kuala Kangsar was born at Lingga at around 1800 local time. So we resume fourth day operation early in the morning by using helicopter, 2 helicopters from Bomba and police to search area which remain as day before. So we only managed to find a tail boom and the door of the Mishap helicopter. Okay, the fifth day of operation, search operation resumed, and at last, the team from Marine Police found one body believed to be the body of helicopter prize at 7.3 km from northwest or close to the river mouth of Batang Lupa. This map shows the location where all the victims have been found and the detail based on the times and the dates and the lat long of the location of the victim. Okay, we continue on the 6th and 7th days. The 7 days we agreed among agencies, discuss and discuss on scene, and around 1600 local time, Commissioner Police of Sarawak officially declared to stand down from the request search until receiving further instruction from the higher authority. Okay, let me share some lesson learned. From this incident. Okay, this is based on my own personal view and experience. Just to inform you, for the first 48 hours, I really dedicated my time in handling this incident as senior operation commander for Bomba team. Need to attend coordination meeting with the agency, executed resource mobilization because we are the first team on scene, and executed and evaluate daily tactic and tactical by our search and rescue team. First lesson also, this incident was well managed for me, and I must say that it was a successful one, mainly due to the effective unified command among agencies involved. As you know, unified command represents an important element in increasing an effectiveness of any management when involving multi-jurisdictional and multi-agencies. As incidents become more complex and involve more agencies, the need for unified command also increases. The coordination meeting was iterated fast. Info sharing among us took place, and it is the prediction and the overall command and control. We were able to coordinate command and control and mass deployment relatively very fast and less bureaucracy. Most of the agencies was represented by state director, and as this incident also involved high-profile victims, concern and green light also received from the highest nation authority, including the Prime Minister, my own Minister, Minister of Defence, and others. Commitment and from the top management was a critical success, I can say, from this incident. Now, if you see from this slide, it's not easy from my past experience to mobilize 5 helicopters for one incident. But it was what happened to the Lingga incident or RPC incident. We also mobilized 1 ship. We also mobilized and using 21 boats. The numbers of the respondents involved also very big. I'm sorry, for on the first day, I don't have an official figure from other agencies. But on the third day, it's recorded 520 responders or rescuers involved and based in Lingga. So Lingga like having a kenduri kawin that day. Okay, big festa then, and most of the local people there talk about more about the incident and rather than the state election itself. So we am talking, keep on give advice to us about the risk of the Batang Lupa. So this is a few photos show some of the logistics we mobilized. The small boat, I don't have a image for the kapal. And if you can see at the left corner is Nuri, and the down one is the bottom one is from Bomba or MI or Bomba. Second we learn also, if you are the incident commander, you must be able to make a strategic decision effectively with the most efficient manner. One of our experience was to predict what happened by putting ourselves in the helicopter's pilot shoes. Our prediction was that the pilot was trying to avoid the bad weather and the hill area and reroute the helicopter towards Maludam and flying parallel with the Batang Lupa. If anything goes wrong, the pilot opts to land on soft surface, which is in this case is a Batang Lupa is the best option. This calculated risk assumption by focusing our SAR team in Batang Lupa was the best decision we made. To me, decision has changed the whole scenario and the search and rescue action. We also gathered early information from residents in the populated area such as Lingga, Maludam, and Sebuyau. As a commander of a we also managed to make a unified decision to relocate our fourth operating base from Sebuyau to Lingga. As commander, we have to make most efficient decision on when to mobilize and mobilize in and mobilize out and where to locate our men. First and foremost, to be a good incident commander, please, my advice, you must equip yourself with your knowledge, groom your leadership quality, and the best way is to learn from others' experience as what we have for these past 3 days. Okay, this is assumption we made. Supposed to be RPC go in direct track to Kuching, but we assume they divert a little bit to Maludam and turn to Kuching, but somehow incident occurred, then they didn't make it. Ladies and gentlemen, election was just around the corner when incident took place. The incident involved very high-profile victims, and the nation top brass also were in Sarawak at the time. We could not avoid this incident become a media spotlight. The challenge is how you managing the media. I must say that it was just extraordinary incident from other incidents. We must entertain not only the printed and electronic mass media but also the online media. There are various slots in our local media. We have Selamat Pagi, we have Berita Pagi, we have Breaking News, we have Berita Tengah Hari, we have Berita Nasional. So as the incident becomes highlight or spotlight of the nation, we cannot avoid it. We must entertain the media. So as the leader, pay attention to the data credibility, the data speed, and the reliable information at any time. In today's crisis management, fast refers to the information should be in minutes, not in hours. We must deliver. If you do not so, the other will do for you. What we did was we appointed a media resource person, which is our chief of operation and myself. On data recording also, we collaborate with officers. They attach the men with us, and all the time they will take all the details and supply it to us. I must also say that the info blast via WhatsApp is the most effective means today. We fully utilize this app during the incident. It's really working well. Okay, you simply can forward your videos, you can please forward your photos, and you know in the incident, photos tell more than 1,000 words. Anyway, it's not my intention to promote WhatsApp. I don't get any single cent remuneration from them. You can check with my office local cabinet. I don't have single cent inside them. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, when we talk about online media, this is a new challenge for us. At times, some information can be accepted, but most of the time you must check first. Okay, this is what we received on that day. 2 hours after the incident, we received information saying that the helicopter was landed safely at Sri Aman. As the authority, Bomba cannot simply give a statement, so we must get confirmation first, and we have to send a team, check with the local police, check with the local guru besar to confirm about the claim. So after 2 hours only, then we managed to make a statement. The initial claim is false. So this is a new challenge for us as the authority. We are responsible providing the public and stakeholder with the credible information, and we must do it in the fastest time as possible. So in Ministry of Health, we also experienced the same in Sarawak when Zika outbreak goes viral in the online media. So the director of the health have to respond very fast, not denying, but to show to the public that we take a proper measure of precaution. Okay, this is some of 1,000 of paper cutting we have. During the incident. After the incident also we have. Okay, for the last lesson learned I want to share with you is, as an incident commander, we must understand the local risks such as topography, accessibility, communication breakdown, or communication coverage limit, and it will lead to success or failure when we managing the incident. Take it, Batang Lupa example, the river itself is very wide in range between 2 to 4 kilometers. So I do not know either in Melaka you have the river with that size. The size of the river, the size of the Batang Lupa is at the range of 2 to 4 kilometers. Yellowish in color, the water, and very muddy. It also have a very strong current, 5 to 7 knots, which not allowing our ordinary divers to dive in. Okay, another main threat we face is Batang Lupa is the most crocodile populated river in Sarawak. Sarawak very popular with the boya attack. So research also has shown that every kilometer in Sarawak top 10 rivers, we have a crocodile population at 8 to 14 crocodiles per kilometer length. So in Lingga area, one day, on the 4th day, when all the search and rescue team quite free, they start counting the crocodile eye. So they come up with so many figures. Some said 30, some said 40, some said 60. But as an average, we said 30 is the best, the right figure. The right figure of crocodile numbers around that Lingga area. Okay, this is the one we caught in Kuching, very cute crocodile. Okay, we send a team and catch it in the drainage of one of the terrace house. They go in through the drain and caught the cat of the house owner. Okay, but this is not the one in Batang Lupa. It's not the threat for Batang Lupa resident. This is the one we caught. Okay, 16 feet length, almost a ton, over a ton weight. Back in March 2016, so this is what we face in Batang Lupa. It's very notorious. So we also highlight to the media what we face, what we're facing. So this statement was made by a police officer. Okay, another one is a significant level of differential of water level. So incident took place during the king tide period, and the water differential is about 5 meter different. So when it's a lowest tide, it's around 2 meter depth, and when king tide coming in, it's around 7 meter depth. So not easy. So to search. Suddenly the river width from 2 kilometers is easily become 4 kilometers because of this water level differential. Another one is the tidal bore phenomenon, which famous among the locals as a benak, we call it as a benak. Also another risk accounted, tidal bore may sweep boats away within a minute. Okay, since our boat sweepers not local, not familiar with this Batang Lupa area, so this phenomenon required us to take extra precaution, as tidal bore took place twice a day. Now we're having a benak pesta in Sri Aman, And this is one of the example of the photo of the benang. So you can see easily our small boat, the bomba merah boat, can sweep away with this size of benang. So when we respond to the incident, please, as a incident commander or the leader of a team, you must do assessment of the area as soon as possible, do some risk calculation and plan the most effective way to execute the operation. The best way, my advice is you can ask from the local resident what is the local risk, and you also can get from the local resident the advice for you to proceed with the search and rescue or the operation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, personally, this is my most challenges incident I get to involve. I'm proud to be part of it. It's end up with a great success, I consider. We managed to recover all the bodies within first 5 days. It was indeed a good blending of effective command and control and a result of various success factors, including highly motivated team spirit among agencies, high commitment, good unified command, fast response, and good management information. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention, and I hope my sharing will benefit everyone. Last but not least, my deepest condolences to all the victims' families, and my salute to all the rescuers involved directly and indirectly in this historical incident. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.
Thank you very much for sharing your experience and your success. We'll invite all the speakers to open the floor for questions. Is there any question from the floor for any of the speakers?
If there are no questions, I would like to invite our chairman, Dr. Nepal, to come up in front of the stage to kindly present a memento to the guest speaker. Firstly, I would like to invite Lieutenant General Dr. SHAHRON IBRAHIM, Senior Advisor, World Food Programme. Dr. SHALIMAR,